How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick your main color. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Deadeye. Commando. Psyfreak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psyfreak, Commando, Deadeye. Commando, Psyfreak, Saboteur. Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same, with the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Pang pang! on to that. Pow! Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Sharp steel. Just what you were looking for. Toxinol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxinol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That hurt him. Cutting edge. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. You should be able to use that. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. but he's grateful you have.
The what?
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Muma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged. He can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that.
And you were wrong. There's always more dark than light.
There's still time to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's two nearby. The Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. He believes you share Jagni's view on the world. Regardless, Jagni would welcome someone that had helped them against the Myriad tribe. He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? The deep cut. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. The Sifu's door is always open for newcomers, but he cautions you. They'll expect you to behave, or you'll have to face the consequences.
Zata is the muy totloho. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put
the Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you have in common. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He expected you'd join them. You understand that the universe runs on the principle that the one who dominates others runs the show. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The Jagni's destiny is to do what others are too afraid to do. To vanquish past and future disillusions of unity and take control of our destiny. Uniting the tribes and saving the Tree of Life won't change anything. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. They have no intention of letting this drag out, or they'll run the risk of teaching the enemy their art of war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both share dark thoughts, so they want to wage a war. A war where all that's left behind is casualties. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. The only kin who count are the kin that are left standing at the end of the war. Let's focus on making that our kin, not theirs. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared.
Osikali.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Mali muzat zanamach. Yaput.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost.
Na oko kiza.
You have orders to follow.
Osikali.
It's time for you to revisit the past. Squawks about Myriad wasting their time with shiny. Seems surprised you have.
Tari Toma, Adwa Leche, Tarukida, Durata Hakegega.
Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things.
Tari Toma, Adwa Leche.
Time to buy or sell? Sniffs about you fouling the air when you could be helping the Ankati instead. Hey there, Crusher. You've used up all your key energy. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says rival tribes aren't welcome here. Leave now, or they'll send a party to hunt you down. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. key energy isn't up for that. Your key energy is too low. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Then he wants you to know that if you find yourself going through bad times, you should just keep going. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has 6 disciples. Doing just one thing helps you get more done in less time. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better time to do what needs to be done than right now. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown is a great reminder of the need to learn how to swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. You need to rely on those who somehow know how to teach, those willing to bend down and help you pick up your boots. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. She's not unhappy with your progress, but you still have a lot to prove. You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise for you at the end, too. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He's learned that things are never as bad as they seem. You'll feel better in the morning. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future you're risking by not caring for the environment. The next generation will pay for the mistakes of the last. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says whatever it is, it shouldn't be left lying around on the ground. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You can't make a difference unless you get your hands dirty. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates those able to deliver a sharp remark. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. He thinks mastering the 6 weapon styles of Wang Fu is more than enough for anyone. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. She wants you to understand that whatever path you choose in life, you must stay true to yourself. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think. He's not scared of anything, least of all you. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She says it's nice of you to consider them, but they have weapon training at sunrise tomorrow, so they'll need all the rest they can get. The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training now. You won't need excuses if you are strong in your conviction. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. Training with Muma will make you feel better. It always does. He asks if you could help him, too, before you leave for training. He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you've found. He's all for renewal and has even considered making the trip out into the wilds to look for a bionucleus pool and refresh his DNA. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. Says at least dirty hands are proof that you tried, and that counts. That you failed this time doesn't mean you can't succeed the next. He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He can see the rebel in you. You're like your Muma in that way, always choosing your own path, even if it might lead you to peril. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He's sure your Muma will forgive you for not wearing the traditional outfit.
Kanaruta.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Andro?
Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be.
Kalino? Kodotuku.
She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left before the sun goes down.
Bendrine senema. Monibasa.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Kamonu.
Wants you to prove that with some practice first.
Volakamono rukna.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Kanamunt.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Bala kamonu.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Kanamunt ben nampusa.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Kanamunt.
That's why you should be sure to thank him for it. Catchy.
Antoro.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Domale tu taifanamenuma.
Thinks you could say that about everything. She hopes you have better days ahead.
Sana yode. Mustiki muhka.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Ferena masalapu.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Taifanamenuma.
You should think of it as watching over you when she can't.
Amun.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Kialdo male kanaru tono.
Says a good rest makes you ready for tomorrow. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Luka from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kinsi. Kamonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Andro.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come.
Kannamunta.
There's nowhere to run to this time. The time has come to stand and fight.
Katjatopulutta. Kannamunt. Tendnampuusa.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. You're looking sturdy. The tribe's caught a fluffy hull. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose. It was harder than expected to take down the Fluff Hulk. They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of Jagni warriors are already waiting for you at Myriad's Vespidut outpost. You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost. Mercy is for the weak. The Jagni tribe seek no one's sympathy. Better than nothing. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Embrace the day. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Is something sinister hiding among the trees? This corner of the world is called Bricktown. Let's see. Maybe you'll grow into that. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. That's a Myriad tribe outpost. Made it count. Thinks you got the right idea. Time to break it all down. Says you make everyone uncomfortable. Hopes to see you again soon. Unless we work to save the... Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. The Vespidat outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe.